Good afternoon, members and friends of Calvary. Time once again for your video devotion of the week. Today it comes from John chapter number 6, verse number 9. A familiar story. The Bible says, "There is a lad here which hath 5 barley loaves and 2 small fishes, but what are they among so many?" So a bunch of people have been listening to Jesus Christ preach. The disciples come and say, "The day is far spent. We need to send them away. They have nothing to eat." And Jesus says, "Well, what do we have?" And the answer was, "We have a lad here with some loaves, but it's insufficient. It's not enough." And the truth is, the disciples were right. As long as it was in the hand of the lad, it was insufficient. But when the lad chose to give what he had to Jesus in Jesus' hands, it was more than sufficient. And so just a challenge as we approach I Love My Church Sunday this coming Sunday, that in our hands, regardless of how much we have, it will always be insufficient to do what needs to be done. But if we're willing to give it by faith, give it sacrificially in God's hands, in Jesus' hands, it will always be enough. The Bible says that earlier in the text, Jesus asked Philip, knowing what he would do. Jesus already knew how he was going to resolve the problem. He did it to prove Philip. And so it may be that this week, it's not God trying to decide how he's going to resolve the problem of our need. He already has got that figured out. He's just proving us throughout this issue and this situation. In the end, the young man who gave the loaves, he ended up far better off, both in the immediate and in the eternal, than if he'd have just consumed it upon himself. I trust you're praying about what God would have you to do for I Love My Church Sunday. I trust you're praying that God would bless and others would give supernaturally on I Love My Church Sunday. I'm looking forward to seeing what God can do when I take it out of my hands and place it in His. God bless.